Hi. So it's been months and months and months since I last posted anything on Swagcouver, and I promised people drunkenly on New Year's Eve that this year I'm bringing it back. So I've been thinking about it for a little while, and I didn't really have anything to record about. But last night was pretty interesting, so figured I would let you know how I ended my night after one of the most random evenings where I wasn't even gonna go out, but then drank a bottle of wine to myself and was like, this is really sad, so I'm gonna go out. Hung out with my friends, then hung out with my brother's friends, then went into the wilderness with my brother's friends, then realized that I didn't have cash on me for the cab, so in the cab home, I asked if they could stop at a 7-Eleven. I could go get cash out. I get there and I realize that I don't have my debit card and I don't know where it went. So I drunkenly lost another one. So I'm sitting outside the gas station. Cab driver took all the cash I had on me and drove away. And I'm freezing cold. Freezing. It's like 3 or 4 in the morning at this point. And I'm trying to figure out how sad I can make myself look to see if any of the guys in the parking lot will drive me home. And all of a sudden, a cop car pulls in to the gas station, starts to fill up gas. The cop looks over at me a couple times, and I'm like, oh, look sad, look sad. So I'm sitting there shivering and coughing and being all depressing. He starts to drive away when he looks at me, and I make eye contact. I'm like, hi. And he stops, gets out of the car, and he's like, when's your ride coming? And I said that they weren't. And he started asking me questions like where I was going and what I had done that night and how old I was and everything. And I started to relate to him the story of my night, but basically everything that I could tell a cop without getting arrested for. And he then offered to drive me home. And I was like, oh, awesome, thank you, perfect. So, really drunk, I get up and start going towards the car, and he's like, so it's protocol for me to make sure you're not carrying any weapons or sharp items. And I was like, oh, I just had my cell phone and my ID on me. And guess that wasn't good enough because he then searched me, which was actually kind of hot. Like it's really evident why people are into cops. It was hot. So searches me, puts me in the back of the cop car, and then opened the little like window thing that separates the front from the back so that I didn't feel like a criminal. I tell him where I'm going. He's using the little computer thing to like Google Maps where I live or whatever. And I was like, I know you probably get asked this all the time and it's probably really stupid and you probably can't do it, but could you put the siren on for me? And he's like, we're really, really just, we're not supposed to do that. And I was like, I won't tell anyone and it'll only be for just like a second. I've always wanted to be in a cop car with a siren on. Like, and he's like I'm sorry, I can't do that. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. And I like sit back and I'm all sad. And he's like, oh, fine. So he puts on the siren for a couple seconds. I'm sitting in the back seat clapping and looking like an idiot. And then he drops me off home and he's like, now don't go getting into trouble. I was like, oh, officer, I promise I won't. And then I got home and was like, did that happen? Because I kind of almost couldn't remember it. So woke up this morning, don't know where my debit card went, and there were texts on my phone from a bunch of people because apparently when I was in the parking lot, I told a whole bunch of people that I was stranded on the streets and that there was like this crazy homeless guy next to me, and so a bunch of people were really worried about me, and my Snuggie keeps falling down, so I'm trying to adjust it awkwardly, but yeah, so I got a bunch of texts from people worried about me, and I'm like, oh no, don't worry, I got home. The cops drove me home, and half the people think is awesome, and the other half think that I'm lying and that I was actually arrested, but I wasn't. So that was a really awesome night. And now I'm Skyping my friend Tim, and we're telling each other about our fun nights. So yeah, I just had a really good time last night. So figured that I would update you with a new adventure. And I will actually try harder this time to be more persistent with my videos because I'm really, really, really bad at that. But it's a new year and I have a new hair color and it's time for Swagcouver to be revived. So starting today, I'm back. Thanks for watching after all these months. If there's anyone still watching at all. If there's anyone watching in the first place, actually. Anyways, hope that everyone has an awesome weekend because I know that I will. And if all else fails, then call the cops.